The Canadian wilderness is vast. It is unforgiving. It holds secrets. Secrets that have been buried deep within its dense forests and misty landscapes for centuries. This wilderness is not just a place of natural beauty. It is a realm of mystery and enigma, where the line between reality and legend blurs. Deep within this wilderness lies a place whispered about in hushed tones, a place that has been the subject of countless stories and legends passed down through generations. This place is shrouded in mystery and fear, a place where few dare to venture. The Valley of the Headless, a name that sends shivers down the spine of anyone who hears it. This valley is said to be cursed, a place where the spirits of the headless roam, seeking vengeance for their untimely deaths. Locals tell tales of a thick, unnatural fog that clings to the valley floor. This fog is said to be so dense that it obscures everything, making it impossible to see more than a few feet ahead. It is in this fog that the headless spirits are said to dwell, waiting for unsuspecting travelers to wander into their domain. They say the valley is a place of whispers and shadows, a place where the wind carries the voices of the lost, and the shadows seem to move on their own. It is a place where the boundary between the living and the dead is thin, and the spirits of the headless are always watching. A place where people vanish. Over the years, many have entered the valley, never to be seen again. Their disappearances remain a mystery, their fates unknown. Some say they were taken by the spirits, others believe they simply got lost in the dense fog and perished. Our team ventured into this abyss, seeking answers to the mysteries that lay hidden beneath the fog. We were determined to uncover the truth behind the legends and find out what really happens in the Valley of the Headless. We were a team of 5 seasoned explorers with years of experience in the wilderness. We had faced many challenges before, but this was unlike anything we had ever encountered. We knew the risks, but our curiosity and desire for discovery drove us forward. But nothing could have prepared us for the Valley of the Headless. The moment we stepped into the valley, we felt a sense of dread wash over us. The air was thick with tension, and the silence was almost deafening. As we crossed the threshold, the air grew heavy. It was as if the valley itself was alive, watching us, waiting for us to make a mistake. The fog seemed to close in around us, making it difficult to see or breathe. An oppressive silence descended, broken only by the sound of our own breath and the beating of our hearts. Every step we took seemed to echo in the stillness, and we couldn't shake the feeling that we were being watched. We were afraid, but our determination to uncover the truth outweighed our fear. We pressed on, knowing that the answers we sought were somewhere in the depths of the valley. We had come too far to turn back now, and we were determined to see our journey through to the end. We set up camp as darkness began to creep in. The sun dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows that seemed to stretch and twist in the fading light. The forest around us grew darker, the trees becoming mere silhouettes against the dimming sky. We hurried to pitch our tents and gather firewood, the urgency in our movements driven by the encroaching night. The fog swirled around us, cold and damp against our skin. It seemed to rise from the ground itself, a ghostly presence that clung to our clothes and hair. The air grew thick with moisture, each breath we took feeling heavy and laboured. The fog was so dense that it obscured our vision, making it difficult to see more than a few feet ahead. A sense of unease settled over the campsite. The silence was unnerving. It was as if the forest itself was holding its breath, waiting for something to happen. We exchanged uneasy glances, each of us feeling the weight of the oppressive silence. The usual sounds of the forest, rustling leaves, chirping insects, distant animal calls, were conspicuously absent, replaced by an eerie stillness. It was as if the valley itself was holding its breath. The landscape around us was shrouded in mist, the fog rolling over the hills and through the trees like a living entity. The darkness seemed to amplify the fog's presence, making it feel almost tangible. We could barely make out the shapes of the trees and rocks around us, their forms distorted by the swirling mist. We ate our dinner quickly, each of us stealing glances at the swirling fog that seemed to press in on us from all sides. The food tasted bland and unappetizing, our nerves dulling our senses. We tried to make small talk, but the conversation was stilted and forced. The fog seemed to absorb our words, making them sound hollow and distant. We told stories and jokes to lighten the mood, but the tension was palpable. Our laughter was nervous and strained, lacking the usual warmth and camaraderie. The flickering firelight cast eerie shadows on our faces, making us look like spectres in the night. We huddled close to the fire, seeking comfort in its warmth and light, but the fog seemed to encroach ever closer, threatening to snuff out our small circle of light. As the fire died down, we retreated to our tents. The darkness outside was impenetrable, the fog wrapping around our tents like a shroud. Inside, the air was stuffy and claustrophobic, the walls of the tent feeling too close for comfort. We lay in our sleeping bags, listening to the sounds of the night, or rather the lack thereof. The silence was almost deafening, broken only by the occasional rustle of leaves or the distant call of a night bird. Sleep was a long time coming. We tossed and turned, unable to shake the feeling of unease that had settled over us. Every creak of a branch, every rustle of leaves seemed magnified in the stillness of the night. Our minds played tricks on us, conjuring up images of shadowy figures lurking just outside our tents. The hours dragged on, each minute feeling like an eternity. The silence was broken only by the occasional snap of a twig or the rustle of leaves. Each sound sent a jolt of fear through us, our imaginations running wild with thoughts of what might be out there in the darkness. We strained our ears, trying to discern if the sounds were just the natural movements of the forest or something more sinister. The tension was almost unbearable, our nerves stretched to the breaking point. But it was the whispers that truly unnerved us. Faint, indistinct whispers that seemed to come from the fog itself. They were barely audible, just on the edge of our hearing, but they sent chills down our spines. We couldn't make out any words, just the soft, sibilant sounds that seemed to surround us. It was as if the fog was alive, whispering secrets and threats in a language we couldn't understand. Faint, indistinct whispers that seemed to come from the fog itself. They grew louder as the night wore on, a constant, unsettling presence that we couldn't escape. We huddled together in our tents, trying to block out the sound, but it was impossible. The whispers seemed to seep into our very bones, filling us with a sense of dread and foreboding. It was a night we would never forget, a night spent in the abyss. The next morning, the fog remained. It clung to everything, a constant, oppressive presence. We packed up camp, our breath misting in the cold air. We moved deeper into the valley, the trees closing in around us like silent sentinels. The whispers continued. They seemed to grow stronger as we ventured further into the valley. They swirled around us, taunting us, mocking our fear. We tried to ignore them, but they were relentless. They seemed to seep into our minds, planting seeds of doubt and fear. We were on edge, our nerves frayed by the lack of sleep and the constant feeling of being watched. We stopped for lunch by a small, fast-flowing stream. We ate in silence, each of us lost in our thoughts. One minute he was there, the next he was gone. We called out his name, our voices echoing through the silent trees, but there was no answer, only silence. We searched for hours, our hope dwindling with each passing moment. The fog seemed to mock our efforts, swirling around us, obscuring our vision. As night fell, we were forced to admit the truth. Mike was gone, and we were alone in the Valley of the Headless. Panic set in. We were trapped in a nightmare. The valley had claimed one of us, and we were next. We tried to find a way out, but the valley seemed to twist and turn in on itself. The fog played tricks on our minds, making it impossible to get our bearings. We were lost. Days turned into nights. We were exhausted, hungry, and terrified. The whispers were constant now, a chorus of disembodied voices that followed us wherever we went. They whispered our names, our fears, our darkest secrets. They were driving us mad. One by one, the others vanished, swallowed up by the fog, their screams echoing through the valley before being swallowed by the silence. I was the last one left, alone in the heart of the Valley of the Headless. The whispers surrounded me, their voices a cacophony of madness. I closed my eyes, waiting for the inevitable. Then I saw them. Figures in the fog, tall skeletal figures with no heads. I stumbled back, my heart pounding in my chest. They were drawing closer, their bony fingers reaching for me. I screamed, but the sound was swallowed by the fog. I don't remember much after that. I woke up in a hospital bed, my body battered and bruised. They told me I had been missing for a week. They found me on the edge of the valley, rambling incoherently. They said I was lucky to be alive. I tried to tell them what I'd seen, but they just dismissed it as the ramblings of a delirious man. But I knew the truth. The Valley of the Headless was real, and it was a place of unimaginable horror. I never went back to the Valley of the Headless, but the nightmares remain. Every night I find myself trapped in that forsaken place, running from shadows that whisper my name. The fear is palpable, a cold sweat that clings to my skin, reminding me of the terror that lurks just beyond the veil of sleep. The whispers still haunt my waking hours. They are like echoes from another world, a constant reminder of the horrors I witnessed. Sometimes I can almost make out words, sinister and mocking, as if the valley itself is taunting me, daring me to return. The Valley of the Headless is a place of mystery and terror. It is a land where the very air seems to pulse with malevolence, where the ground beneath your feet feels like it could swallow you whole. The twisted trees and rolling fog create a landscape that is both beautiful and horrifying. A place where nightmares are born, a place where the laws of nature are twisted and broken. The trees grow in unnatural shapes, their branches reaching out like skeletal hands. The ground is littered with strange formations, rocks that seem to defy gravity, and pools of water that reflect a sky that is not our own. A place where people vanish without a trace. The valley is littered with the remnants of those who came before, their belongings left behind as if they simply ceased to exist. Missing person posters flutter in the wind, a grim reminder of the valley's dark history. It is a place that will forever haunt my dreams. No matter how far I run, no matter how much time passes, the valley is always there, lurking in the shadows of my mind. It is a part of me now, a scar that will never heal, a place that I will never forget. The memories are etched into my soul, a constant reminder of the darkness that exists in the world. The valley is a part of my story, a chapter that I can never close. The legend of the Valley of the Headless lives on, a chilling reminder of the darkness that lurks in the heart of the wilderness. It is a story that has been passed down through generations, a warning to those who dare to venture into the unknown. The valley is a place of power, a place where the veil between worlds is thin and the darkness can reach out and touch you. It is a warning to those who dare to venture into the unknown. The valley is a place of secrets, a place where the past and present collide in a maelstrom of fear and uncertainty. Those who enter do so at their own peril, for the valley does not give up its secrets easily. A warning that some secrets are best left buried. The valley is a place of death and decay, a place where the past is never truly gone. It is a place that should be forgotten, a place that should remain hidden from the world. At the end of the video, add if you like this video, like it, and subscribe to my channel.